I watched the departure board blink from on time to canceled, while my phone stayed silent in my pocket. That was the moment I knew I'd done it right. No shouting, no scene, just absence, the kind that hollows a person out. I didn't need context then, neither do you now. All you need to know is that 10 minutes earlier, my parents were still smiling for photos under fluorescent lights, luggage lined up like trophies, my sister holding court with her practiced laugh. They thought Christmas was secured. They were wrong. I used to believe families ran on gratitude. I built my life around that lie. Steady work, no drama, bills paid on time. I learned early that love, in our house, was transactional. You earned it. You owed it. You were never done paying. Still, I tried. I always tried. The vacation was my idea. Sun, quiet, a reset. I paid for everything: flights, hotel, transfers, a dinner reservation on Christmas Eve that required a deposit I wouldn't get back. I wanted them to feel taken care of. I wanted to feel included. The first crack appeared at dinner the night before departure, a joke that landed wrong. My mother's smile tightened when she said, "It's nice, I guess, but you know we raised you. This is kind of expected." Expected. The word stuck. My father laughed and added, "And don't forget who really keeps this family together." He nodded toward my sister. She didn't correct him. I felt the familiar heat rise, that old instinct to explain myself, to earn my place again. Instead, I went quiet. Silence has always been my tell. When I stop talking, I'm counting. The next morning, it got worse. They complained about the airline, the hotel photos, the room configuration. Then my mother said it, sharp and casual, like she'd practiced. "You still owe us, you know, for everything." I remember the exact sound my fork made against the plate, a thin, ringing note. That was the moment something shifted, not broke, sharpened. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I asked questions, soft ones. Let them talk. They didn't know my aunt had left her phone recording on the counter. She'd done it accidentally at first, then deliberately. She caught the insults, the entitlement, the part where my sister said, "If it weren't for me, this family would fall apart." They all agreed. I listened to the recording later, alone, once for pain, once for clarity, once for strategy. I canceled nothing that night. Revenge is sloppy when it's rushed. I waited until they checked in online, until the luggage tags printed, until the group chat filled with plane emojis and forced cheer. I waited until they were in the car to the airport. Then I logged in. The reservations were in my name, every single one. I had the confirmation numbers memorized. Cancel flight, cancel hotel, cancel transfers, cancel dinner. No refunds. Just clean, quiet erasure. I turned my phone face down and finished my coffee. At the airport, they learned in stages. First confusion, then irritation, then panic. I answered on the fourth call. My voice was calm, almost gentle. I told them the truth, that I'd reconsidered, that I'd listened to what they said, that I finally understood my role. There was shouting, accusations. My father demanded explanations. My mother cried about Christmas. My sister called me selfish. I waited for the silence between their words. Then I played the recording. No commentary, no justification, just their own voices filling the terminal. The line went dead. I didn't block them. I didn't need to. The fallout was immediate and public. My aunt sent the recording to the family group chat with one line, for clarity. Stories unraveled. Old debts were questioned. Their version of events collapsed under the weight of their own words. They tried to call it a misunderstanding, a joke, stress. But jokes don't sound like that when they're played back slowly. Christmas came anyway, just quieter. I cooked for myself. Watched the snow settle like a decision finally made. They never apologized. They don't know how. What they did instead was worse. They went small. And me, I slept better than I had in years. Because the truth is, I didn't take anything from them. I simply stopped giving. And when they reached the gate expecting everything to still be waiting, they learned what I had learned too late. Silence isn't weakness. It's the sound of someone leaving the table without asking permission.